Charles Turapak/AP Images. China's technological strategy and innovation are serious threats to U.S. national security now, according to retired Admiral William McRaven. The U.S. has reached a holy moment and needs to invest more significantly in technology research and development to keep its edge. McRaven said that as we talk about the rise of China, the gap between American and Chinese innovation is narrowing. In some cases, like with 5G commercialization, China is already beating the US, and its intellectual property theft of US technology only compounds the rapid pace at which it's developing new technologies, a report by the Council on Foreign Relations released Wednesday said. Visit Business Insider's homepage for more stories. The legendary former Navy SEAL Admiral William McRaven said at an event on Wednesday that China's technical and defense capabilities were quickly approaching and sometimes surpassing those of the U.S., representing what he called a holy moment for the U.S. McRaven, who was the head of Joint Special Operations Command during the 2011 operation on the al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden's Pakistan compound, said at the Council on Foreign Relations event that we need to make sure that the American public knows that now is the time to do something about China's rapid developments in research and technology that threaten U.S. national security. China is emerging as the most significant rival to the U.S., as outlined in a report by the Council on Foreign Relations, released Wednesday. From hacking and intellectual property theft to incursions in the South China Sea, China is asserting its dominance in the Pacific and its intention to compete militarily with the U.S. But McRaven said that particularly in terms of technology and innovation, as we talk about the rise of China, the gap between American and Chinese innovation is narrowing. Read more. Navy SEAL Admiral reveals his biggest fear during planning of the bin Laden raid. In some cases, China is surpassing the U.S., according to the report. For example, in the commercialization of 5G, a necessary component of high-speed communication. What's more, Chinese-built 5G networks could pose significant risks to U.S. national security, as evidenced by the U.S. contentious relationship with the Chinese tech company Huawei. China's intellectual property theft is a significant cause for concern, and one that the U.S. is confronting, the report said. Between October and December, the U.S. Department of Justice indicted Chinese hackers and intelligence personnel on charges of intellectual property theft 3 times. But it's not just about IP theft, it's also about China out-innovating the U.S., and that as its economy grows, it will continue to do so. The report stressed the necessity of federal funding for tech research and urged the Pentagon to fast-track the adoption of tech innovation in its bureaucratic systems, a problem China doesn't have, thanks to its integration of military and civil technical innovation. China's growing economy and investment in technical innovation has been a growing threat to the US's national security for years, but now is the US Sputnik moment, McRaven said, referring to U.S. competition with Russia in the Cold War. If not now, when? He said. And oh, by the way, it's just going to get harder as we get further into the future. Now watch what El Chapo is really like, according to the wife of one his closest henchmen.